Hey, this is Erin from One Board Family, and today I'm playing a solo version of Around the US in 15 minutes. This is a print and play on Kickstarter from Shiny Pigeon Games. There are a lot of maps to choose from, including around Europe in 15 minutes, around the world in 15 minutes, and today I just chose to play Around the US in 15 minutes. I actually really enjoyed playing this as a solo game. I don't play many solo games, but this one was a lot of fun. You can actually play the solo mode as a party mode where you can play from 1 to 100 players where you're rolling dice at the same time. There is a standard version that you can play 2 to 6 players, and in that case you don't roll any dice, but each player takes turn being the navigator, and the navigator gets to choose the action that everyone will take. So on this game, there are two actions per turn. If you'll see on the turn tracker, you get 20 turns here. When you roll the dice, a 1 or a 2 means you take the travel action. A 3 or a 4 means you get to collect from items where in the city that you're in, or the region that you're in, excuse me. And 5 to 6, if you roll 5 or 6, means that you get to explore the city that you're in. So if you look at the map over here, you have different regions. You have the West Coast, the Northwest, Midwest, South, Southeast, and Northeast. And in each of these regions, you are allowed to collect different items. And so you have sauce, candy, trinkets, and jewelry, and you'll find in this area here, this is the scoring area for collecting items. For every time you collect an item, you mark it off not on the map, but here in this scoring area. So for each row that you mark off, you get 6 victory points, and for each column that you mark off, you get 4 victory points. So when you explore a city, there are two different ways to explore. You can explore culture, you can explore history, you can explore nature, or you can explore food. Okay, so each city has 2 available things to explore, and you get to choose one when you explore that city. As you mark them off down here in the scoring area, for each column that you mark off, you're going to get 5 victory points. And then for each time that you explore each different thing, you're going to go up in your victory points. And so the first time you visit culture, say, or explore culture, you get 1 point. Second time, 2 points. Third time, 4 points, and so on. So in this area, you'll see regions completed. So for every region that you visit, each city in that region, you will get 3 victory points. And iconic cities is the last thing we need to talk about. For each iconic city, there are 4 bonus cities on this map: Anchorage, Honolulu, Washington, D.C., and San Juan. You get extra points for visiting those iconic cities. However, you do not get to collect or explore while visiting those cities, but you do get these extra points here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and roll the dice here. And I have a 5 and a 3, so I'm going to get to explore and collect. So real quick, if I had rolled 2 of the same actions, like 2 explores or 2 collects, you have to take one of those actions, but the other action, you get to choose what that action would be. So right now I have to collect and I have to explore. I'm going to choose a starting city. I should have done that first. And we're going to start up here in Seattle, okay? On the West Coast. Okay, so Seattle, in this region, what's available to me here is sauce and trinkets. And so I'm actually going to choose sauce right here. And I'm going to get to explore either culture or nature. I'm going to go ahead and explore culture. All right. And then I have done both of those. We're going to go on to round 2. Roll the dice. Okay. I got collect this time and explore. So I didn't get a travel action, which means I'm still in the same city, in the same region. So with collecting, last time I collected sauce. This time I'm going to collect a trinket. Let's see, we'll collect a trinket way over here. And I explored culture. I'm going to explore nature this time. All right, on to round 3. It's a pretty quick game, which I really appreciate. Okay. Ooh, collect and collect. So actually, we're going to take one of those since we rolled 2 collects and we're going to move it to a travel. Let's get on out of Seattle. I'm going to have us travel down to Portland. Okay, short trip right here. Okay, so we traveled and then we're going to collect. We're in the same region, so we're going to go ahead and collect. Let's collect trinkets right here. All right, on to round 4. Roll the dice. Okay, we got to travel this time and an explore. So let's go ahead and travel. Let's see. Let's travel on to Boise. So now we're in a different region. Now we are in the Northwest. The items available to us for collection here are trinkets and candy. We've traveled. Let's explore. Boise offers history and nature. I'm going to go ahead and mark off that history there. All right, and let's move on to round 5. All right, we got an explore and a travel. Let's explore Boise and go ahead and take a nature this time. Okay, and then traveling, let's see. Let's travel down to Las Vegas. I think that I want to complete all the cities in this region because there are only 3 cities. And if I complete all the cities in this region, I will get an extra 3 points at the end. So we are in Las Vegas. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and roll. We're on round 6 here. All right, we got an explorer, 2 explorers. So we are in Las Vegas. Do I want to explore twice or do I want to change one of those to maybe a collect? Let's change one of these to a collect since I rolled 2 of the same action. So we're going to collect trinkets or candy. Let's go ahead and mark off a candy, getting closer to marking off a complete row. A complete row, yes. Okay, so the next one is explore. Exploring, we're going to go ahead. We have not marked food off yet. Let's go ahead and mark off food. All right, on to round 7. Okay, we got a 2 and a 3. So we have a travel and we have a collect. So we are in Las Vegas. Let's travel over to Denver to complete those 3 cities in that region. So we're going to go up this way to Denver. We have traveled. Let's see, what are we going to collect here? Candy or trinkets. Let's go ahead and collect trinkets. Or I marked the wrong thing. Trinkets right here. Okay. All right, we have collected. And let's go ahead and go to 8. Round 8. Let's roll the dice. So we got 2 explorers. Let's see here. We're in Denver. Let's go ahead and explore to move on up on these trackers. We're going to explore both food and nature. Okay, let's explore food, nature. Let's roll again. Okay, we got a 4 and we got a 3. And those are both on the collect, but we need to travel out of there. So let's move one of those to a travel. And we are going to travel to, let's see, we've completed every city in the Northwest. Let's travel to Dallas. Well, actually, let's travel to Kansas City because I do want to work on completing every city in a region. So let's go on to Kansas City there. So we've traveled. And then now let's collect. Let's see, the collections for the Midwest are jewelry and sauce. So that jewelry I accidentally marked out before. Let's mark it out for good this time. And that is all for that area. We traveled to Kansas City and we collected sauce. So now we're on to round 9. Moving right along. Okay. 6 and a 3. All right, collect and explore. So in Kansas City, let's go ahead and collect, see if we can complete a row or a column, and we can because jewelry is in the Midwest. That completes a row for us, which will be 6 points at the end of the game. And we're going to explore, let's explore history here. All right, on to round 10. Okay, we have an explore and a travel. Let's go ahead and travel up to Chicago. Let's see here, up to Chicago. All right, and now we're going to explore. Chicago offers food and culture. Let's go ahead and mark off a culture. That will give us another completed column in the explore area, which now we have another 5 points for that completed column. All right, let's move on to round 11. We have a 5 and a 4. Let's see, collect and explore. I'm still in Chicago. Let's go ahead and collect a sauce, and that's going to give me a full column for 4 victory points. And we are going to explore, let's see, what do we have here? Let's explore food. All right, round 12, roll the dice, 3 and a 5. A collect and explore again. I am stuck in Chicago. So let's see here. I'm going to mark off a sauce for collect, and that will give me another 4 points for that column. And explore, let's see, in Chicago, let's go ahead and explore culture. And that will put us at 4 points for culture for the end of the game. Let's hope we get a travel. Roll a travel. Wow. Okay, good. 2 collects. We're going to move one of those into a travel and move on out of Chicago. From Chicago, let's go ahead and go down to St. Louis, and I believe that allows me to complete all the cities in the Midwest region: Kansas City, Chicago, and St. Louis. Okay, so we traveled to St. Louis, and we'll go ahead and collect in St. Louis. We are still in the Midwest, so we have jewelry and sauce. I have 1 jewelry that I have not marked off in this section. So that completes our jewelry and our sauces for this scoring part over here. All right, turn 14. Hopefully we can go ahead and make it out of St. Louis. We have a 2 for travel, and we have a 3 for collect. Let's go ahead and travel. Where would we like to go next? Let's go to, let's go to the Northeast. We're going to travel up to Philadelphia. Travel up this way to Philadelphia. There we go. Mark that off. And we get to collect. So the collection items for the Northeast are jewelry and candy. And so let's go ahead and mark off this piece of candy, and that gives us another completed column for our collections. And we are done in Philadelphia. Let's move on to round 15. We have a 5 and a 6, 2 explore actions for Philadelphia. Do I want to explore twice? I think I'm going to move one of these to a travel. Let's go ahead and travel up to Boston. So now we are in Boston, and let's explore in Boston. We have history and we have food. So let's go ahead and mark out this history here. That gives us another column to score 5 more points at the end of the game. So we have traveled and we have explored. All right, let's roll the dice. We're on to round 16. Here we go. We have 2 collects. We are in Boston. Let's move one of those to a travel. Let's go ahead and travel down to New York. That will allow us to complete this region here. So we have traveled to New York. Let's go ahead and collect, let's see, candy. Candy is my last. I cannot believe we have filled out this entire scoring section for collections. Okay, so we are done with that. Let's move on to round 17. See where we can go from here. Okay, we have a 6 and a 5. Both explore actions. If I explore New York again, I can move up in the culture and in history. Let's see. And I have 3 turns left. I think that I want to actually use one of these to travel because I want to hit at least one iconic city. Even though you cannot explore or collect in the iconic city, I do want to at least hit one of those to give me some extra bonus points at the end. So while we're still in New York, let's go ahead and use our Explore. And we are going to explore, let's go ahead and explore culture, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and travel. This might be a bad decision, but because I don't know if I'll be able to get out of here, but let's move on down to New York here. Okay, here we go. Round 18. We're almost done. We have a 6 and we have a 2. So we do have a travel, which is awesome. So we have hit the iconic city of Washington, D.C. I'm going to go ahead and mark that off here so that I won't forget. And then we will go ahead and travel down to Charleston. Okay, we're traveling down to Charleston. And we will explore in Charleston. We are able to explore culture and we are able to explore dining. Let's go ahead and explore culture to get us all the way to the end here. Get those 9 points for culture. And that is it for that round. Let's go ahead and move to round 19. Roll the dice. We have a 5 and a 1, a 4 and a 1, a travel and a collect. Let's go ahead and travel down to Miami. Actually, you know what? There's nothing else that I can mark off for collect, and because of that, I'm going to make the decision to travel to this iconic city, San Juan, because even if I took a collect action in Charleston, there's nothing that I have left to collect. So I'm just going to go ahead and go down to San Juan and just use my travel action. Okay, this is the last. I'm going to go ahead and mark that off for here that I've visited, and this is my last roll. I have a 6 and I have a 3. I have a collect and an explore, neither of which I can do in San Juan. So that is the end of the game for me. I will say that there, before I score all of this, I will say that there is a bonus here, a 3-point bonus, if you make it back to your starting city, which I did not do this time, but you can have an extra 3 points if you do that. There's also a speed bonus if a player visits each region and returns to the starting city. They score points equal to the number of remaining turns that they have. So that's another strategy. If you want to hit each region, go back and say you have 5 more, say you're on round 15 and you have 5 more rounds to finish the game. You'll just finish the game at 15, but then you'll add 5 points to your total score because you had 5 turns remaining or 5 rounds remaining. So let's go ahead and score this. All right, let's take a look at the collect scoring section first. Each column is going to be 4 points and each row is going to be 6 points. So somehow I was able to fill out this entire section, which is the first time I've done this while playing this game. So that was pretty cool. We're going to see, let's see, I have 4 columns completed at 4 points apiece, so that's 16. And then I have 3 rows completed at 6 points apiece, so that's 18. That'll give me 34 final points for the collect section. And then in the explore section, 5 points for each column, so I was able to fill out 3 full columns, so that's 15 points. And then for culture, I was able to gain 9 points, for history 4, nature 4, and food 4, and that gives me a total of 36 points for the explore section. For the regions completed section, I was able to visit all of the cities in the Northwest, in the Midwest, and in the Northeast. And so that gave me a total of 9 points. And then I was also able to visit 2 iconic cities, and that gave me a total of 5 points. So my final total was 84 points. That was a lot of fun to play solo or in party mode or standard mode, whichever you'd like to play it. Don't forget to check out Around the World in 15 Minutes. Print and Play from Shiny Pigeon Games on Kickstarter. They have tons of different maps. Go find a map that you enjoy, and thank you for joining me. Until next time, we'll see you at the table.